We haven't heard that whistle. Is right,
That's
Chuck.
right. We haven't.
Well,
Hadn't been
we're
a whole
back.
lot of whistling out here at all in the last few weeks.
The ice, the snow. It's like,
Oh.
okay, enough. Aren't you done with it?
It's been the worst January in this business that I think that ever been.
Seriously?
Yeah. I mean, the weather's been last few years pretty decent in January.
Yeah.
Overall, but this ice stuff is just keeps everybody
It's
away.
brutal.
And we can't open. I mean, you can't get up the hill, and you got a lot that's it just takes forever to melt. And we have a company that does it, but everybody was crying out here, so
right.
It was rough.
It was hard on a lot of different businesses that couldn't open up. And I've talked to a lot of people that have said, oh my gosh, that was the worst December I've had in a while, and going into January, where most people are like festive and celebrating the holidays, and they're trying to dig out of, what did you guys get out here?
I think we had 10.
Yeah. The moms in Lake St. Louis I think she said I don't know if they had 12.
Well, we had 10 at home, and we're just 12 miles due west. I think Murph said it was 10.
And it's still there. That's how cold it's been.
Well, it was all ice at the beginning, and just getting into it is just impossible. I think hopefully tomorrow and Friday we'll get
melt.
It'll melt.
We need it to melt. Well, we're excited to be back. Happy New Year, by the way, to all of you watching now or watching later. This is our first show together in 2025. So first, how were the holidays for you?
Oh, they were wonderful. Other than the fact, with our problem at home. No, she's doing great.
Good.
Actually, she's had a great 2 weeks.
For those of you that don't know, we made the announcement. His wife, Michelle, is going through treatments for cancer, but good to hear she's doing better.
Yeah, she had a kind of rough Christmas Eve situation, had a high temperature, and we spent Christmas Eve at Barnes, and then Christmas Day again at Barnes, or Christmas the 26th at Barnes.
Not a place you want to spend the
No,
holidays.
I had my license plate stolen, in
Oh,
the garage.
What?
Euclid garage, you just
Great.
whatever.
That's not kindness.
No, not at all. But
she's doing better?
She's had a good couple weeks.
Good.
And
cheers to you, Michelle.
She actually went to the ladies' luncheon out at Lake Sherwood today, so I'm happy
Good.
she was able to get out. We've spent a couple of days riding our side-by-side through
I saw it.
That's a lot of fun.
How many people did you have out there?
I think there was 9 side-by-sides, and we went all the way to Warren County and Warrenton, and played around in a couple bars and came back, and it was fun.
You had you had posted pictures, and I was like, that looks like a blast. That was she. Yes, good times for sure. A lot of you probably have had your 4-wheelers and your side-by-sides out because it was needed, and still is, by the way. There's a lot of ice and snow out there, but yes, we've got warmer temperatures for a little bit coming. I hope that we're not going to get anything Saturday. There's a possibility of rain and snow. I know we don't want
keep it wet. Keep it wet snow, if anything.
Keep it rain.
I know it's going to get really cold again on Wednesday. Right?
It is
or Monday.
Yes, next week. Next week it's coming back. So you need a little wine to warm you up. By the way, so if you're wondering, where are we? We are at Defiance Ridge Vineyards. Chuck Gillentine is the owner, and if you have not been out here, well, then I want you to come. We always talk about support those that support us. We do this Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. We've got some exciting things to tell today. So you're actually adding a lot of things in.
Yeah, we decided to start. In fact, we posted it today that we're going to be open on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights now. And we're going to start a Sunday open at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning and have brunch items. We'll probably have 5 or 6 items that you can order on the menu. It won't be, it will be a la carte. And, we're working on the menu out of some great fun things that we'll work in with the kitchen. And so that will be great. We did it years ago.
Yeah.
And
bringing it back.
I think our team now is better, especially in the kitchen. They can handle it. And the items will be available all day Sunday, so there won't be a turn-off period. And there will be, great breakfast sandwiches, burritos, probably a salmon-based something, smoked salmon.
Mimosas?
We have mimosas in the first place, But,
you have to have mimosas for brunch, don't you?
Yeah, and the Bloody Marys. We use a local Bloody Mary sauce.
Oh, I love that.
So it's really good.
Support local, folks. Support local.
Yeah. Yeah, well, today we're going to be supporting some Texas wines.
We're doing a mix.
Thought it'd be fun to talk about some things, even though the varietals are varietals grown on the West Coast and Europe, but these are wines made by a couple places you may be visiting soon.
Okay, so this is what's crazy. All right, so let's just kind of go here. It's Erie. We're both faith-based, and I thought, okay, gosh, you're funny that I had never even thought of this particular area. He writes me and says, Monica, we got so much to talk about today in Witcher Whistle. How about we do some wines in Texas from a trip that we did back in 2022? And he says, Fredericksburg, Texas. And I'm like, are you kidding me? My meeting today, folks, if you don't think that God works in mysterious ways, at 9:00 this morning, as soon as the show ended, I got on a call with a wonderful woman. Her family owns this place. And I asked Chuck if, in fact, he had ever been there. So I want you all to go right now to winebarrelcabins.com. They have 4 cabins on site. Okay, and they are all themed Sangiovese. No, I'm sorry, Tempranillo.
Well, that's your major grape.
Yes, Chardonnay, Chardonnay, Rosé, Tempranillo, Cabernet. Those are the barrels.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a house that can sleep 10 people
Wow.
called the Hickory House.
Wow.
But the barrels, they sleep 2 people in each barrel. There's a king size bed.
That's pretty cool.
So you better like the person that you're with. So if it's not a significant other, maybe a good friend. So 18 people on the property. They're looking at probably building some more barrels, but it's a family owned business. And I'm talking about like these 20-year-olds, this younger kid, as well as mom and dad designed and built these barrels.
That's incredible.
Right?
Yeah, that
landscaping,
really is incredible.
did the concrete, everything. So winebarrelcabins.com. So I have been seeing them a lot on Instagram, and it is super, super cool. So I'm talking to them about traveling to where you've been and doing Wet Your Whistle Wednesday from there in March.
You know, you'll love it. Be a great time to go.
She said, I forget what she said would be popping up at that time.
They're blue bonnets.
Yes, that's it.
And the little Indian paint red flower that is wild grown also, but the blue bombs will be beautiful.
And I hear the Main Street is something I would love.
Yeah, that Fredericksburg area is really, it's a very wealthy area, but it's a gorgeous drive from Austin into the hill country.
Okay.
And Fredericksburg's neat.
And you traveled there back in 22.
Yeah, we flew down to see the Eagles in concert.
Oh.
And spent one day. I have an old friend from my high school that owns a wine limousine company,
mm-hmm.
and his daughter runs it. And he does all the driving, and we booked the day with them, and they took us. I think we went to 5 different places, and had a great dinner, and it was a long day, but it was a lot of fun.
And what's the tours called?
It's called 19th Hole.
19th Hole.
Yeah.
Tours.
Yeah.
Right?
Wine tours.
And so they took you all over, and he wanted to bring some of that back for us to taste today from Texas. So again, you're talking about an area that is like millionaires.
Oh, it's
right?
It's per capita. I think it's the largest, or more millionaires live in Fredericksburg than any place, I think, in the United States.
Really?
Per capita.
I had never heard of this area until
There's like 400 wineries in Texas. You know, Texas is the 5th largest wine producing state.
Did not know that.
And most of the grapes are grown in the high plains in West Texas, close to Lubbock. And but where you're going, Fredericksburg, they grow a lot of Spanish grapes.
Yes. That's what she was
High
telling
Plains
me.
is more Cabernet and things like that. But the Tempranillo, Sangiovese, it's what I remember those 2 being outstanding in several of the wineries. It's a fun place to visit.
So the ones we're going to do today, and then we're also going to drop in a bunch of content for you about all of these wonderful things coming up right here at Defiance Ridge Vineyards. Some really cool trivia nights. There's one in particular I told my husband we have got to get tickets for right away because I'm a big Yellowstone fan. So I went really deep into your website this morning and saw.
And we just added a couple more in March.
Yeah, we're going to show you all of these in just a second. But the wines we're doing today is a Chenin Blanc.
And a Sangiovese, and it's from a winery called Pebble Rock.
Pebble Rock.
It's a very small producing winery, and you'll see both these wines, they only produce like 70 cases.
70. Wow, that's really small production.
Is
this in Fredericksburg or near there?
This is in Johnson City. It's just maybe 10 miles before you get to Fredericksburg. Okay. So you'll drive through it.
Okay. Fantastic. So that's one of the things we're actually looking for when we travel there. If there's specific wines that you would like for us to feature, then I'll talk with you about that. Yeah, I just want to do small business. I remember this winery and one called Kuhlman, which was really cool. Coolman, and Kulhman, I believe. She told me about one that is a friend of theirs, I believe, and it's called Coordinates. Have you heard of that?
I have not.
And then the other was William Chris.
No, I went there.
You did go there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a couple that she said are, I guess, friends of theirs. So if you're just tuning in, we're talking about an area of Texas. Tell me if you've ever been there, Fredericksburg, Texas. And the main street I'm being told and looked at pictures looks super, super cool. And then this wine cabin thing, these barrels are just amazing.
That is a great idea.
Right?
Yeah, it really is.
Well, they lived in Hawaii. They also lived in South Africa. And then someone said, you need to travel and look at this area of Fredericksburg, Texas. We think you'll love it. And they're like, well, everybody's doing wine there. We don't want to do that. We want to do something unique.
Well, you'll love the hill country. It's beautiful. It really is neat.
We want you all to come with us.
And it has, I don't know if it's real dry down there right now. When we were there, it was very dry. So,
well, I'm thinking of celebrating my birthday on March 19th there.
Well, cool.
Because that's a Wednesday. We'll do a wet your whistle from there. Okay, let's come back to this. So we're going to taste this wine in just a second. Let's talk about, you mentioned that you're going to have dinners on Wednesday and Thursday now. Uh-huh. You also are going to be open for brunch on Sundays with new brunch items. So that's opening up at what time?
10 on Sunday. Okay. And, the Wednesday will be just like Thursday. Kitchen makes incredible fried chicken. So, it's very popular in this area. We've had some issues with some closures down the street, yes. Yep. and I don't understand it. I was excited for them to be here, and I'm sure there's all kinds of stories about it. But someone's got to pick up the slack, and why not us? We're right here, and we can do it.
Right.
And so hopefully help the locals a little bit, because people love to have a couple places to eat at.
You all do a great job. That's one thing I really love about Defiance in particular, how much each one of the small businesses lifts up and support the others. And that's good to hear. That's right. That's what you want, right? Yes, there's competition out there.
But it's not like competition. It's we're all working together.
Right. So all right, let's run through some of this. So coming up now, some of these trivia nights you mentioned are already sold out. So I'm guessing this Taylor Swift one sold out already.
Sold out. And
How quickly did that sell out?
I don't know. All
People
I know
are Swifties.
Is they sell out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
We have 20 or 30 teams, and you get 300 people in there, and it's a lot of fun for people that have been to these things.
And then you also are moving your farmhouse dinners starting March to Tuesdays.
Yeah, in March we'll start moving them to Tuesdays. We'll post that. Got the menu for March already out. It will be posted soon. But we have Valentine's Day on Friday night, which is our farmhouse dinner next month.
Correct.
And I think it's 50% sold out, and Valentine's Day, of course.
But so tickets are still available for this one.
There are tickets available.
So if you're looking for something to do, there you go. On Friday, you're going to open up. You doing this at 6?
The dinner starts at 6:30.
At 6:30. Okay. Yeah. So Valentine's Farmhouse Dinner. We're looking through some of the things that are coming up. You can find these, by the way, by going to their website, Defiance Ridge Vineyards. Go into the gallery, take a look at how beautiful the property is, and then go to the events to see what's coming up. The Swifty one, as I mentioned, is already sold out. So is the 80s?
The 80s is sold out. The next one that's available is I think the 29th.
The office trivia night.
Office trivia night. I'm surprised it's not sold out.
I am too. But there's a bunch more coming up, by the way. Let me go back to this slide.
We got them all in February and March.
Yeah, we're going to show you all those in just a second. So you also have the From the Cellar Dinner Series. That is that. We
moved it from the 22nd. Michelle has treatment that day to the 25th.
Okay.
So Saturday night, and it's... we still got a few tickets left. We try to keep it small, up to 30, 36 max, and I think we've sold close to 25 5 or 6 tickets.
And so tell them what they can expect on that night.
Okay, that night we're going to have it's going to be an incredible dinner. The first course will be a charcuterie, that very special charcuterie that we're serving with an '09 champagne, and then second course will be a Domaine Drouhin Chardonnay with a roasted chicken with an olive base in it. Third course will be a Donham Pinot Noir, and that will be with West Pacific salmon course. And then we're having rack of lamb, and fourth course pairing it with dual Caymus Special Select 2019. And then we're going way off to a 13 Chapelet Caymus Chapelet Cabernet. So that'll be a side-by-side fun dish with a rack of lamb, which I can't wait for.
Love it.
And then we're doing I believe a chocolate dessert with a 1985 gram port.
1985 gram port. All right, that sounds
I've
incredible.
had a bottle of these little half bottles, and this is coming from my cellar, and it's drinking delicious.
So that again is coming up at the end of the month. So if you want to buy tickets for that, go to the website or call in.
Go to the website to the cellar dinner. I lowered the price a little bit because just decided to do that to attract more people, and I'm donating the champagne and the port to the dinner. So.
Such a good man. Again, Chuck Gillentine we're visiting with from Defiance Ridge Vineyards. So you can find the From the Cellar Dinner series on the website. The trivia nights, again, are really popular. We just showed you the office trivia. You can also see some of the upcoming music that they're going to have here. And then the music trivia night as well. Let's run through some of these. I'm excited. Before we get to this, the trivia also continues with some favorites. Maybe you like 80s trivia coming back in February, right? Because the one in January is already sold out. Here you go. Star Wars fanatics. They're going to have a Star Wars trivia. I'm surprised that's not sold out already.
Well, it may be. I didn't look into that one since it was that far out.
And then you rescheduled the Friends trivia nights because of the weather, probably.
I think it will sell out quickly too. We've already had a lot of it rebooked.
And I think you're doing it again later in the year. I think I saw that on your site. Are you doing another Friends one?
Concerts will start in May.
Okay.
So there may be a second one.
And then movie trivia night again coming up in February. Downton Abbey trivia night. There's a lot of you that watch that on a regular basis. Okay, or we go into the 2000s trivia night. That's coming up for you. And then Lord of the Rings. So many. That'll be huge. All right, this is the one I want Jim and I to come to. Yellowstone trivia.
I may have to come to that.
Okay, let's do it. Let's have a table together.
I may have to do that one.
Because I know, look, today I wore my cowboy boots for you. And sometimes he'll wear his hat. We'll get all decked out. You can guarantee people will dress the part on this one. Don't you think?
So. Yeah, everybody's got a cowboy hat at least.
A cowboy hat or your boots or something on those lines. So these are just...
watching the Billy Bob Thornton Landman?
No, actually...
Oh, my gosh.
Is it great? Really?
He's fabulous.
So I saw previews for it.
It's good.
Isn't John Hamm in that also?
Yes.
So St. Louis's own John Hamm.
I hope he makes it to the second year. He's in kind of critical shape right now. So.
Oh, okay. Not in real life. In the show, everybody. Don't start rumors that something's wrong with John Hamm. No, Landman. I saw a preview for it nearing the end of Yellowstone. Do you think Yellowstone's going to come back?
Yeah, I think it will come back. I think it's just too popular not to come back.
Or it will have a spinoff, they're saying.
Yeah.
Which I'd be okay with.
They left it as it'll come back. It's just too popular.
So
even with Costner gone, it
worked.
I think it worked. I mean, it was better with him on it.
Agreed. But we fall in love with Rip.
Yeah. Oh, Rip. Oh, yeah. Who doesn't?
Exactly.
He's a man's man.
He is so incredible. So how many of you are big fans of Yellowstone or Downton Abbey or Lord of the Rings? There's also a Harry Potter trivia coming up. All these really fun things. And these get packed and you have a great time, Adam. You can have that right here at Defiance Ridge Vineyards. Farmhouse dinner series. Again, the brunches and the upcoming cellar dinner. And then great music. So remember that. People forget that you're open during the winter. And we have to keep stressing that. You can sit right here by this beautiful fireplace or another one in there. But who doesn't love to, like right now, we're looking out at the snow and you can have incredible wine.
Yeah, it's it's been a rough couple weeks.
I'm sure.
It really has.
So support, and come to the winery if you can make your.
We have good music this weekend. So,
you do?
Yes, we do. Wake up.
Well, you got good people
Saturday
you pick anyway.
Saturday should be a decent day. It's not. It's not going to be like Friday, but it's still.
It's just going to rain. It's going to rain, right? We're not going to get any more snow. Okay, let's talk about these wines.
Okay.
So again, from Texas. If you've never had Texas wine, which I'm going to tell you, I don't think I have. He just went back in 2022 to this, more Plain Hill area of Texas. So how far out of Dallas Fort Worth is that area?
Oh, you need to fly in Austin.
Austin, okay.
Yeah, take Southwest and just fly direct.
I love Southwest. Don't you?
It's easy, and Austin and Fredericksburg's about an hour and a half west of Austin. Dallas is just too far away.
So go into Austin
4
for
hours
this.
or 5 hours.
So again, the hill country of Texas. So Chuck says that Texas produces over 2 million gallons per year, fifth largest producing state in the United States with over 500 wineries.
500 wineries. I mean, you've got three major areas. You've got, by far, the hill country is the largest. Then the High Plains has a lot of wineries. And then there's a new area just north of Dallas-Fort Worth towards the Oklahoma border that I'd like to visit that supposedly is making some really good wines.
I just did not know that Texas had that many wineries.
Even in East Texas, where I'm from, there's a dozen wineries within an hour where my brother and sister-in-law live.
That's crazy. So again, we were talking in the beginning about Fredericksburg and a beautiful area that a lot of people have been talking to me about. So here's a little trivia question for all of you. What city in the U.S. has the largest wine drinking per capita? Okay, think about that one for a second. We should do some trivia giveaways sometimes. Yeah. We'll do our own little trivia.
Well, this one kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So, what city in the United States has the largest wine drinking per capita? We'll leave it there for a second if anybody wants to answer that. And again, welcome in this afternoon. God bless your wife, sir. Angela said she watches us regularly from the UK.
Cool. Thank you.
From the UK. I was like, what?
Thank you.
She said something about, I would love to come to these events. I live a little too far. And I said, oh, you can travel. I said, it's about an hour from my house. And she goes, I'm in the UK. So I love the fact that we have people watching from all these different countries. Okay, we're going to give you the answer. It is DC.
Yep.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Wine Facts came up on Wine Facts today.
So again, what city in the U.S. has the largest wine drinking per capita? It is D.C. Okay, so we talked about this service, 19th Hole Wine Tours, that they used back in 2022, visited several wineries, and one of the ones that we're going to feature today with the Chenin Blanc is Pebble Rock Cellars, Johnson City near Fredericksburg. You said it's not named after the president.
No, it's not.
So in case you wonder, that's not. There's your trivia. No, it's not.
Because his ranch was very close to there.
Oh, it is.
LBJ's ranch.
Yeah. So this is a
2019 Chenin Blanc.
Both 19s?
Yeah, both 19.
Okay.
Chenin Blanc, famous in the Loire Valley. Some of the most expensive whites are Chenin Blancs from the Loire Valley. When I tasted this a few years ago, it was much better than it is now. Okay.
So we said that before we went on. Chuck said I actually probably should have drank this. How many years ago?
I should have drank it at least a year ago, I think.
So what do you think has happened to its flavor profile?
Actually, I get a kind of an asparagus nose to it now.
Interesting. We've talked in past shows, by the way, about he says women can get better nose qualities than men do.
You get mineral, you get lemon.
Yeah.
But you taste it, you get a green veggie. And I think that usually it's more bell pepper like when you get that, but in this wine I think it's more asparagus.
I like asparagus. I don't want to have it in my wine now. What about the nose? Do you think the nose is good?
I think the nose is changed. When I first opened it, it had some sulfurness in it. It's gone, or maybe there's still some wine, but I think it's more asparagus. Asparagus is the worst food to pair wine with.
Well, yeah, it just is so powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say it. This isn't my favorite.
Well, that's why we do these things.
Absolutely. So this is what it's all about, right? And this is why we say come in anywhere you go for that matter. So if you're going to travel to Texas, do wine tastings and find what you love. Don't just say, well, hey, somebody suggested I drink this. You taste it. See if you like it, because everybody's palate's different. Yeah, that one you've introduced me to some incredible wines. That one, so as he knows more than any of us do,
That's
he
good
says it's
cooking
past.
wine.
Oh yeah, so don't just throw it away.
No, I'll cook with it.
What would you cook with that?
Well, any cream sauces
Okay.
for pastas. Probably fish. You use it in some kind of
Yeah.
something with the fish. Uh, I think that would be about where I would leave
You would
that
leave it
wine.
there. Yeah. So don't just dump things that you think are past their prime.
You may be able to make a good dressing with this too. You know.
Oh, dressing, I
Yeah.
could see that.
You could reduce it down a little bit, or just use some vinegar and olive oil and.
It's got a better nose on it than I think taste.
Yeah, I just not.
It's
I haven't. I think I had 3 bottles of this in my cellar, and now I have 1.
and now he's going to cook with it.
That's right.
So this is what asparagus would be, all liquefied.
Yep.
All right, let's move over to this one.
Okay, so the nose on this is beautiful.
Yes, it is.
This is Sangiovese, and
It is like Rhone-like.
It is. Sangiovese are made to eat with pasta and pizzas and smoked meats. This looks like a Pinot Noir. It actually looks like a Pinot Noir from Dundee Hills, actually, in my opinion.
It looks a little darker to all of you. I'd have to get it there. It's getting a little lighter. It's lighter in person to us.
Yeah,
trust me.
it is lighter.
Oh, it's got a great nose.
I love the nose. Now,
when did you open this? How long has it been open?
I opened it at about 3:00.
Okay, so about an hour and a half now. I love the nose.
It's got good cherryness, little tart.
Little tart.
It lingers a little bit, but right off the front, it doesn't have much.
No, and it doesn't linger too much. Like if I thought it was tart, and I'd be like, okay, get that. Give me some food.
To me, it's lingering a little bit more than when I opened it.
Okay.
Because when I opened it, I couldn't wait to taste it because I remember really loving this wine, and I still love the nose, and it may in the next 2 hours turn out beautifully.
Isn't that fun, by the way? Tell them this is what happens. You go somewhere and you are in love with the scenery. You're in love with the people that you're with. You open up a bottle of wine. You end up loving it so much you decide, I'm going to get a case, ship it back to my house. You come back home, you open it, you taste it and go, this is not what I remembered it to be. It's because you're immersed in all of the beauty.
Well, a wine like this probably should sit overnight. I opened up a Aonair.
He introduced us to look up Aonair, folks.
2 nights ago, okay? A Cabernet, and I let it set for maybe 10 minutes in the glass. There was nothing to it.
Interesting.
I had a glass. I put my cork back in it about 3 hours after it was open. Last night, I poured a glass. It was totally different. It was incredible.
Yep.
It was incredible.
That is actually a question we've asked Chuck before. Again, if you're just tuning in, Chuck Gillentine, the owner of Defiance Ridge Vineyards, is where we are, sitting by this beautiful fireplace. This property is just stunning. So put it on your radar to come and bring your family, bring your friends to upcoming dinners, seeing some great music, go to the trivia nights, come to brunch, all the new things we just talked about. But people have asked before, okay, so typically how long would a bottle of wine last once you open it up?
It depends on the varietal first. It depends on the age. But normally, I open a bottle to drink in 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay. And most of the time, and I've really found this out the last couple of years, that it's better the second day.
I agree. I opened up a bottle. It was an Italian wine, and I was like, "Oh, this is good." Just had a glass. I was doing some work at home. I'm like, "Oh, I'll have a nice little glass."
It just needs that air to stir it, and it's been in that bottle for 10 years, and once you open it, and you think it's going to be incredible, and it's nothing worse than having what you think is a dud wine.
Yep. You have this build up in your mind.
Decant it.
Yeah.
Give it some time.
So, and I don't know if we've talked about that in the past, but what's your mindset of people saying that some things need to be double, triple decanted? Is that just for show, or
no?
I
think it's just each their own. I do decant wines, but most of the time I just leave the bottle open.
Leave it open,
and I just let it sit there and for a few hours, and I'll just put the regular cork back in it. and the next day it's just so much better.
So you can just put the regular cork. You don't need to.
I mean,
because
pumping it is always good, but if you don't want to do that, a quality wine should be good the next day.
So because that, I mean, sometimes I wonder if those things that we're buying are just like for show, and you don't need all these things.
Tom brought in a 2012 Norton yesterday. Opened it. I was going. 2 hours later, after we had it open, it was totally different, and it was very, very nice.
You need patience in the wine world.
Well, that's what I heard today about patience and something.
Patience is a necessity for sure. Peter, nice one. Which one? Which one do you like, Peter? Let us know. Aonair is a winery I do want you to look up because Chuck introduced us to to their winery. Oh my gosh, did we go? I think in 2017, right? Wonderful people, wonderful wine for sure. And then now he's introducing us to all these other ones. These are from Texas. If you're tuning in late, we're talking about Texas wine, which I've never had. Between these two, we like this one better.
You'll love your trip, and you'll love the wines, most of the wines there.
I want to take
quality wines.
So here's what we have the ability. We're going to do the Real Monica Adams takeover. So we're going to talk about all this, but maybe Chuck needs to come with us. We'll see. We'll see how Michelle's doing, by the way. But there's 18 of us that we can take along. We're thinking, again, we're building up a lot of these things. We're thinking of getting some Monica's Maniacs to travel along there with us. I think it would be fun. You flew, but I think it would be fun to drive. It's like 13 and a half hours, I think I read.
Oh, it's a drive. I mean, I drive to Texas twice a year, but
how long
East
does it take
Texas, it's 10 hours.
So I think
East Texas.
I typed in from St. Louis to Fredericksburg. I think it's like 13 or 14 hours.
That could be done. I'm sure you'll 44 to DFW and straight down.
I want to get like a Sprinter or something to take down there.
There's not much to see till you get to Fredericksburg.
But it would be a fun road trip, right?
I mean, if you go through Arkansas and to the Ouachitas and into southeast Oklahoma, it's a beautiful drive.
We'll have somebody driving.
If you drive straight down 44, and
it'd be boring.
And just, I think most of it will be boring.
So we have to have our own fun inside. We'll find out. Again, there's a lot of things working behind the scenes. We've got some big plans, by the way, for 2025.
Take a bus?
I think it would be fun.
Well, I could see it being fun.
Yes. And then we'll check in and we'll do a little road tripping. We're going to take it on the road because what we have shown all of you is that this show can be done from wherever. We did a show in Italy. We did a show in Mexico. So yeah, if you want us to come somewhere, there's just ideas of big things that can come.
I think it's a good idea.
All right, we're going to wrap up here. So again, Texas wines. And this particular one is, what is it? Pebble
Rock.
Pebble Rock.
It's
so
a
look them up.
Very small winery.
That's what we're tasting today, the 2019 Chenin Blanc. He thinks he should have had about a year ago. This one's still good.
Yeah, it's good.
So see?
It was better a year ago.
Okay.
Because I think I bought a case of this. I was so impressed with it that
You liked Texas?
Because I love the light. I love the caramely nose a bit. And it kind of reminds me of an Oregon Pinot Noir.
For those of you, by the way, that are doing dry January, I'm sorry.
Who does dry?
That's what I've said. My friend Michelle, Michelle, she was told that dry January will help you sleep better. You'll lose some weight. You're more like cognitive. You'll be clearer vision. She got done with it and she goes, no, I just missed out on a lot of
No kidding.
But again, if you're doing it, stay on it. And then we welcome you to come to all these wonderful things in February. Go to DefianceRidgeVineyards.com, click on their events, and look for some things that are coming up for you. February, again, 50% sold out for the Valentine's dinner. So if you're looking for something to do with your honey, maybe you want to come right here and enjoy.
It'll be a fun night.
Yeah.
We'll have a great dinner.
Good food, good wine, good company. And then trivia nights galore, music galore, and they're planning for a lot of big things as we transition into spring and summer. So remember them. Sit right here. I love sitting by a fireplace with a beautiful glass of wine. Cheers to you for the first time in 25.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And
you.
Michelle, to you, keep healing. We love you. Can't wait to see your beautiful face again. If you all have any questions for us ever, by the way, or things that you would like for us to cover on a Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, just let us know and tip back whatever you have. Again, if you are working right now, then obviously when you get home, maybe open up something nice. Come here and you can pick up some wines and take home to your family and friends. Just have a beautiful one and wet your whistle.
Wet your whistle.
Bye, everybody.